Education in the Digital Age by Molly Flowers. I have decided to create a screencast relating to the changes in literacies through time, as it is clear that new literacies have emerged with new technology in the classroom. Understanding the technical world has become significantly more important in our society. It is suggested that understanding this new technology should be acknowledged equally alongside other subjects, as stated in an article by Garni Reid, who suggested that becoming literate in how the technical world works is equivalent to reading, writing and maths. We need to look at this fourth literacy as mainstream. It is extremely useful for children to grasp a better understanding of new technologies for their future careers because, as Beers states, as technology continues to evolve, always moving towards more sophisticated, our literacy capacities must also grow more sophisticated. The evolvement of this digital age has had an impact on literacy, making a number of changes to how we learn. Powell and Rosal state that literacy is not a neutral set of skills we have in our heads and develop through language teaching and learning. Rather, literacy is always and everywhere situated. Therefore, literacy is all around us but ever-changing. This is why we often describe texts as new literacies. Lou et al. Points out that this is why we use the term new literacies, as it is not just new today, but it will become new again every day. Literacy is ever-changing, which includes the meanings of words such as literate. As UNRIC points out, the idea of the word literate coming to refer to those with the ability to read and write. The word's meaning has morphed to become more inclusive and perhaps convoluted, reflecting the intense academic debate that has taken place throughout the 20th and 21st centuries in an effort to define and redefine the term. Changes in literacies has created a lot of interest into social semiotics and how individuals can create their own understanding and identities of something they see through signs such as colours and images. Burke and Hammett 2009 suggests that the meanings encoded in visual representations also reflect the reality as imagined by sign makers and influenced by their beliefs, values and biases. Therefore, a child's understanding of a text could differ from someone else's, depending on their upbringing. For example, this is supported by Powell and Rosal's understanding that literacy practices are infused with identity. Collier 2007 gives examples of how technology has changed the way we learn in the classroom, using two scenarios. The first sets the scene of a classroom in the 20th century, where a teacher is preparing her class for an assignment about a novel. She teaches the class using handouts and writing on a chalkboard whilst the students make notes. The second scenario looks at 21st century class using current literacies. Here the students gather around computers demonstrating their knowledge of a novel using Movie Maker. When finished, the assignment is posted onto a classroom wiki, allowing other students to look at the work. This shows the extent to which technology is constantly changing and therefore affects how we define what is considered as a text. William Kiss describes how the shift from a page-based to a screen-based society has caused a drastic change in literacy. It's a different way of encountering communication or thought or human expression. This has changed the way students learn, meaning teachers also need to adapt to how they teach, as instead of just giving children knowledge, Metcalfe suggests they use more as a facilitator or enabler for children's learning. However, one problem faced is in some schools, teachers do not want to adapt their teaching styles to new literacies, as many do not appreciate the speed things are changing in the digital age. It is understandable that some teachers are set in their ways, as they may feel their methods are tried and tested, and therefore there is no need to change them. However, it's important to realise the benefits of these changes. For example, Powell and Rosal 2005 state that when we type on a screen, we're situated within a specific time and place as we type, but as we open up our email, the world comes rushing in. The global practices from the World Wide Web infuse our local spaces. It makes it clear that we're using these technologies as a way of opening up many more opportunities, as well as creating interconnectedness on a global scale. It is clear that there have been a number of apparent changes of how we interpret literacies. Through time, new literacies emerging have greatly affected the way we teach in the classroom and the role the teacher plays. Although this is a very exciting time, it is not yet clear whether we should see it as being fully positive or negative, as it is constantly changing. Although this is a very interesting area and time, Lou points out it is important that we remain cautious. He states that the lack of theory and research on the new literacies of online comprehension is surprising given the increasing prevalence of the internet in our lives. Therefore, we must be aware that there are still areas which need to be researched further. Thank you for watching.
Created using Powtoon.